All right, clicking it in here, bringing us home. All right. Hello, everyone. Joel Wright. I am one of the co-founders of Slope Leadership, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about developing the next generation of leadership resources for educators that can be integrated into schools. So we are developing a platform. Think of Khan Academy, and we want to be the Khan Academy of leadership development. Now, something you might not know is Khan Academy, after 12 years of being in operation, is still operating on 80% donations and grants 12 years later. That's important because my ask today here to launch Slope Leadership is to raise $225,000 and to provide introductions to partners, educators that might be interested in supporting this. So here's a little bit of the agenda I'm going to go through. I want to talk about the current educational challenges that we all know about, solution, Slope Leadership, competition, plan, and next steps. So a couple of weeks ago, I was hosting a leadership conference, and one of the sectors that talked was the education sector. And we were talking about the leadership challenges that exist. And a South Carolina teacher said we had 16,000 students disengaged from March until the end of the school year. As the conversation went on, a New York City person said we had 300,000 students disengaged from March until the end of the school year. This story can be played out, of course, around the country in different communities and around the world. So if that's what's being produced, we want to think about this tree as being a systemic approach of producing output. The leaves on the tree are the outputs right now of some disengaged students. And when you do a type of root cause analysis, of which we did in this leadership conference, we started to talk about equity and access and the challenges of lack of support at home. And all of these are absolutely true. But what we heard from one student who's been in a leadership program and is a high school student is she said, the thing I miss the most is community, and I miss belonging to something. So when we think about what does leadership development know and what does leadership development do, it builds relationships, it builds connections across different systems. And you're seeing the plotting of a network map here about nodes going from disconnected in the employee world, which could be synonymous with disengaged students. And so we also have research now that's starting to show those schools that are doing leadership development show an increased correlation to belonging, engagement, and grades. And so these are some of the things that leadership development field does. So our value proposition is we want to be the nonprofit. We want to provide free access for educators to next generation leadership students so that all students can have access to leadership development. Why me? Well, I worked at the Center for Creative Leadership. I was an entrepreneur there, and I was launching a number of different projects and products, and I led the initiative there at CCL. And some of the schools that you're seeing, even UNC's Carolina Leadership Academy, is something that I helped create the framework there. So as we went back to the well this past fall to do interviews, here's a statement that we know. Many different people, educators too, think about leadership in different ways. This information informed the features that we're now building into our approach. So we need a common framework. We need a single source stop, just as Sarah said earlier, because educators don't have time to search for stuff. Educators by educators is important, and professional development, as you heard from some of my peers, is important. Hey, the good news is that thank you, Participate. Thank you, Mark Otter, for the grant to build my MVP actually on your site. It's great to have users that are out there. Come to my breakout session. I'll walk you through more of what's on the Participate platform and what we're doing. What you're seeing here is the competition. You know, I know CCL, I know a number of the competitors. They are all doing great work, and they're also cost prohibitive. We can no longer let leadership development be a privileged pedagogy. We need to find ways to get it out there, like Khan Academy and Teachers Pay Teachers, to give educators the tools. Been doing a lot of work with my co-founder. We're drafting a book. We've got a solution that's been built, and there's a lot more that we look to do. We have a 3-year plan here to scale up. The first year is going to be about populating content. We have 5 different revenue lines, and those lines will increase and ultimately get to marketing and advertising through lots and lots of users. Some of our approach as we move forward, here are some of our next steps. We're partnering with some of these people at the Leadership Forum community, and we will be building out resources that address this COVID reality and building community in schools for this fall, and then we will keep growing. We've got some founders and some partners. It's fun to say that of all the places my co-founder is moving, he's moving to Wuhan, China. Yes, it deserves a little laugh at this point. And he's been hired actually to integrate leadership into the school there, as well as extend it to their entire international school network. So the big question that's driving me and my team is, what would the world look like if all young people develop leadership skills? These are the adaptive skills that cut across every dimension of one's life. So my ask for you all is what I said earlier, $225,000 to launch, partnering relationships and vendors. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you in my workout time, and yay team, we just finished all our pitches. Thanks for all the support, everyone.